This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Driveshaft's renewal. Where applicable, use the tool provided to remove the wheel bolt covers. Using the locking wheel bolt adapter where necessary, slacken each of the wheel bolts half a turn. Raise the front of the vehicle until the tyre is clear of the ground. Place the axle stand or stands in position and lower the jack. Remove the jack from under the vehicle. Fully unscrew the bolts and remove the wheel. Unclip the brake pad wear warning sensor lead, then undo the nuts and remove the driveshaft cover. A tool to hold the wheel hub stationary while the driveshaft retaining nut is slackened can be fabricated from two lengths of steel strip, one long, one short, and a nut and bolt, the nut and bolt forming the pivot of a forked tool. With the holding tool attached, slacken and remove the driveshaft retaining nut. This nut is very tight. Make sure that there is no risk of pulling the vehicle off the axle stands as the nut is slackened. Note that a new nut will be required for refitting. Completely unscrew the hub nut and remove the tool. Spray some penetrating oil onto the driveshaft splines to aid removal. In order to remove the driveshaft, turn the steering to full lock. Slacken the nut securing the swivel hub ball joint to the front suspension lower arm. Use an Allen or hex key to prevent the ball joint shank from rotating. Note that a new nut will be required for refitting. Release the ball joint from the lower arm using a universal ball joint separator. Completely unscrew the ball joint nut, then push down the suspension lower arm and disengage the ball joint shank. Move the swivel hub to one side, taking care not to damage the ball joint rubber boot. We recommend placing a protective cover over the rubber boot, such as the plastic cap from an aerosol can, suitably cut to fit. Undo the two bolts securing the driveshaft support bearing bracket. Note that new bolts will be required for refitting. Carefully pull the swivel hub assembly outwards and withdraw the driveshaft outer constant velocity joint from the hub assembly. The outer joint may be very tight. If so, tap the joint out of the hub using a soft-faced mallet. If this fails to free it from the hub, the joint will have to be pressed out using a suitable tool which is bolted to the hub. Pull the inner end of the driveshaft from the differential and maneuver the driveshaft out from underneath the vehicle. Locate the inner joint in position on the differential spline shaft. Turn the driveshaft as necessary to engage the splines. Ensure that the outer joint and hub splines are clean and dry. Maneuver the driveshaft into position and engage the outer joint with the hub. Ensure that the threads are clean and apply a smear of oil to the contact face of the new driveshaft retaining nut. Lightly tighten the nut and use it to draw the joint fully into position. Lever the suspension lower arm downwards and engage the ball joint shank with the arm. Fit the new retaining nut to the ball joint and tighten it to the specified torque, then through the specified angle. Refit the driveshaft cover, tighten the nuts, then refit the brake pad warning lead. Using the method employed on removal to prevent the hub from rotating, tighten the driveshaft retaining nut to the specified torque. Check that the hub rotates freely. Refit the front wheels as appropriate, followed by the wheel bolts. Fit the locking wheel bolt adapter and lightly tighten the bolts. Raise the vehicle and remove the axle stands. The vehicle can now be lowered to the ground. Remove the jack. Tighten the wheel bolts to the specified torque.